Have you ever looked at your bank statement and wondered where all your money is going? As we get older, it's more important than ever to be mindful of where every dollar goes. Life after 60 should be about comfort, ease, and financial peace, not wasting money on things that don't truly add value. The truth is, there are a lot of everyday expenses that seem harmless but add up over time, draining your savings and making life more complicated than it needs to be. Today, we're going to talk about things you should stop spending money on after 60. The goal isn't to live in deprivation. It's about being smart with your money so you can focus on what really matters. Whether that's travel, family, hobbies, or just having the financial freedom to enjoy life on your own terms. Let's start with something simple but sneaky. Subscriptions. Do you know how many subscriptions you're actually paying for? Streaming services, magazines, gym memberships, even digital storage plans. These little expenses sneak up on you. And let's be honest, do you really need 5 different streaming platforms? Half of the time, they just sit there unused while the monthly charges quietly chip away at your budget. It's time to review them, cancel the ones you don't use, and reclaim that money. Another big one is cable TV. With so many affordable or even free streaming options out there, traditional cable packages have become ridiculously expensive. Do you really need hundreds of channels when you only watch 5 of them? Consider switching to a cheaper alternative or even an antenna for local channels. That alone could save you hundreds of dollars a year. Next, let's talk about household expenses. If you're still buying fancy cleaning products for every single surface in your home, you're spending way more than you need to. A simple mix of vinegar, baking soda, and dish soap can clean just about anything for a fraction of the cost. And those expensive single-use cleaning wipes, they're not just bad for your wallet, they're bad for the environment too. Swap them for reusable cloths and you'll save money while keeping your home just as clean. And what about the kitchen? If you take a look around, chances are you have more kitchen gadgets than you actually need. That avocado slicer, the pancake batter dispenser, the 10 different coffee mugs when you only use 2. These things take up space and waste money. Most of the time, a good knife and a sturdy cutting board can replace half of those fancy tools. The same goes for specialty appliances. If you haven't used that bread maker in the past year, it might be time to let it go. Now, let's move into the personal spending category. Clothes are a big one. After 60, your wardrobe should be about quality, comfort, and simplicity, not about chasing trends. Fast fashion is designed to make you spend more money on things that wear out quickly. Instead of buying cheap clothes that pile up in your closet, invest in a few high-quality pieces that last. A well-made sweater will serve you better than 5 low-quality ones that fall apart in the wash. And speaking of personal care, let's talk about expensive beauty products. Fancy creams, anti-aging serums, and high-end skincare might promise miracles, but most of them don't do anything that a basic, well-made moisturizer and sunscreen wouldn't. Marketing companies know how to prey on our insecurities, convincing us we need the latest magic potion to stay youthful. But the truth is, hydration, sun protection, and a healthy diet will do more for your skin than any $100 face cream ever could. Now, here's a controversial one: salon visits. If you enjoy getting your hair professionally done, that's great. But if you're going every few weeks just out of habit, consider whether it's really necessary. Many people save hundreds of dollars a year by learning simple at-home hair maintenance or stretching out their salon visits a little longer. There's nothing wrong with a little DIY when it comes to personal care. Let's move on to technology. If you're upgrading your phone every couple of years, you're likely wasting money. Most modern smartphones last much longer than people think, especially if you take good care of them. The latest model might be tempting, but unless your current phone is broken or severely outdated, there's no need to rush into an upgrade. The same goes for computers, tablets, and other gadgets. Buying the latest version isn't always necessary. Another area that might be eating into your budget without you realizing it is brand name medications and supplements. A lot of people assume that brand name medications are better than generics, but in most cases they contain the exact same active ingredients. The only difference? The price tag. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about switching to a generic alternative. Over time, this small change can lead to big savings. Home renovations are another sneaky expense. At this stage in life, home improvements should be about safety, comfort, and function, not about keeping up with the latest design trends. If your kitchen works just fine, do you really need to remodel it? Instead of spending thousands on cosmetic updates, focus on practical upgrades like better lighting, grab bars in the bathroom, or energy-efficient appliances that will save you money in the long run. Now, let's talk about lifestyle spending. Dining out is a major money drain for many people. It's nice to eat out occasionally, but if you're doing it several times a week, the costs add up fast. Cooking at home is not only more affordable, but also healthier. If you still want the restaurant experience, consider treating yourself to one really nice meal a month instead of multiple small ones. You'll enjoy it more, and your wallet will thank you. Here's another one that might surprise you. Collectibles, whether it's knickknacks, figurines, or a collection of something you started years ago. Ask yourself, are these things adding joy to your life, or are they just taking up space? Many collectibles don't hold their value over time, and what's worse, they turn into clutter that makes your home feel crowded. Selling or donating these items can free up space and put some extra money back in your pocket. Credit cards are another hidden expense. Many people have multiple cards they don't really need, often paying annual fees and high interest rates without realizing how much it's costing them. Simplifying your finances by consolidating your credit cards or switching to one with lower fees can save you money and make managing your budget much easier. Let's talk about travel. If you love to travel, there's no need to stop, but there are ways to do it without spending a fortune. Luxury travel is great if you can afford it, but there are plenty of budget-friendly ways to see the world without draining your savings. Off-season travel, senior discounts, and alternative accommodations like rental homes instead of hotels can all make a huge difference. The pressure of holiday spending is another big one. Many people feel obligated to buy gifts for every occasion, but the reality is, meaningful gifts don't have to be expensive. Instead of spending hundreds on holiday shopping, consider giving experiences, homemade gifts, or even just the gift of time. Most people, especially family, appreciate thoughtful gestures far more than expensive presents. We're only just getting started, and there are plenty more unnecessary expenses to cut after 60. Would you like me to continue with the next section? One of the biggest money traps after 60 is buying too many vitamins and supplements. Walk into any pharmacy and you'll see shelves lined with bottles promising energy, better sleep, stronger bones, and a sharper mind. It's easy to think you need all of them, but the truth is most of these supplements are unnecessary if you're eating a balanced diet. Many seniors spend hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year on vitamins they don't actually need. Before buying another bottle, talk to your doctor about what's truly essential. You might find that a simple multivitamin or a few key nutrients like vitamin D and calcium are enough. Everything else is probably just expensive urine. Another area where money slips away quietly is unnecessary insurance policies. As we age, our insurance needs change, but many people keep paying for coverage they no longer need. If you have multiple policies, life insurance, accidental coverage, extra health insurance, it's worth reviewing them. Are you paying for duplicate coverage? Are you insured for things that no longer apply to your lifestyle? You might be able to cut out some policies and save a significant amount of money each year. Speaking of medical expenses, many people don't realize that healthcare costs can vary widely depending on where you go. Just because a certain doctor or clinic is convenient doesn't mean it's the most cost-effective option. Shopping around for prescriptions, dental work, and even vision care can save you a lot of money. Many pharmacies offer discounts or price match programs. Some dental schools provide high-quality services at a fraction of the price. Taking the time to compare costs can make a big difference in your medical expenses over time. Another financial trap that's easy to fall into is frequent gift giving, especially when it comes to grandkids. It's natural to want to spoil your loved ones, but constantly buying gifts, toys, and gadgets adds up fast. The truth is, what kids and grandkids cherish the most isn't expensive presents, it's time, stories, and experiences. Instead of spending money on things they'll outgrow in months, consider giving them something more valuable. A handwritten letter, sharing a special memory, a day spent together, cooking a family recipe, or even teaching them a skill they can carry with them forever. These moments mean more than any store-bought gift. Now let's talk about dining habits. While cutting back on eating out can save money, another costly habit that often goes unnoticed is buying too many convenience foods. Prepackaged meals, frozen dinners, and takeout might seem like a quick solution, but they come at a premium. Not only are they expensive, but they're also packed with preservatives and sodium that aren't great for your health. Cooking at home is one of the simplest ways to save money and eat healthier. Even if you don't love cooking, simple meals with fresh ingredients can be easy, affordable, and much better for you in the long run. Another expense that might be quietly draining your wallet is unused or underused vehicles. If you and your spouse each have a car but rarely use both, it might be time to reconsider whether you really need to. Selling one could put extra cash in your pocket. reduce insurance costs, and cut down on maintenance expenses. And if you're someone who no longer drives as often, switching to a rideshare service, public transportation, or even carpooling with friends might be a smarter and more affordable alternative. One thing many people don't think about is storage fees. If you're renting a storage unit to hold things you no longer use, you're literally paying to keep clutter. Over time, the cost of a storage unit can add up to thousands of dollars. Instead of holding on to items that no longer serve a purpose, consider downsizing and decluttering, selling or donating unused furniture, old boxes of decorations, and forgotten keepsakes can free up both space and money. If something is important enough to keep, it should be important enough to have a place in your home. If it's sitting in storage for years, chances are you don't really need it. And here's one expense that's become more common than ever: home delivery services. Grocery delivery, meal kits, Amazon Prime, same-day shipping. They're all convenient, but they come at a cost. While an occasional delivery makes sense, relying too much on these services can add up quickly. Often you're paying for the convenience rather than the product itself. Before hitting that checkout button, ask yourself, is this something I could pick up myself next time? Could I plan ahead and buy in bulk instead? Small shifts in shopping habits can lead to big savings over time. Now, let's talk about home decor and seasonal items. It's tempting to refresh your space with new furniture, trendy decorations, or seasonal items that catch your eye. But after 60, the goal should be about simplifying, not accumulating. Every time you bring something new into your home, it takes up space, requires maintenance, and eventually becomes something you'll need to declutter. Instead of buying new decor every season, try rotating what you already own, repurposing items, or keeping things neutral so they work year-round. A simple, well-organized home is not only easier to maintain, but also saves you money in the long run. Another way money slowly disappears is through impulse purchases. Whether it's browsing online, grabbing things at the checkout aisle, or shopping as a form of entertainment, impulse buys often add up more than we realize. One way to curb this is to adopt the 48-hour rule. If you see something you want, wait 2 days before buying it. More often than not, you'll realize you don't really need it, and that simple pause can help prevent unnecessary spending. Lastly, let's talk about the idea that bigger is better. After 60, the focus should be on right-sizing rather than upsizing. Whether it's a large home with unused rooms, an oversized vehicle that guzzles gas, or a massive wardrobe filled with clothes you rarely wear, more doesn't always mean better. Sometimes the best financial decision is downsizing. A smaller home means lower property taxes, less maintenance, and fewer utility costs. A simpler lifestyle means less stress, less clutter, and more financial freedom. It's not about giving up what you love, it's about making room for what truly matters. By being mindful of where your money goes, you can free yourself from unnecessary expenses and redirect those funds into things that truly bring you happiness and comfort. Life after 60 isn't about restrictions. It's about making smarter choices so you can enjoy more freedom. Every dollar you save by cutting wasteful spending is a dollar you can use for things that actually enrich your life, whether it's travel, hobbies, family, or just peace of mind. Now that you know the 22 things that might be draining your wallet, take a look around your home, your habits, and your monthly expenses. Are there things you can cut back on? Are there changes that could make life simpler and more enjoyable? The power to create a more intentional, financially secure life is in your hands. Every small change adds up, and before you know it, you'll have built a lifestyle that's not only more affordable, but also more fulfilling. One of the best parts about reaching this stage in life is the wisdom that comes with it. The ability to look at your choices and say, do I really need this? Is this actually making my life better? Because so many things we spend money on aren't improving our lives at all. They're just habits, routines we've fallen into without questioning whether they still serve us. And if something isn't bringing joy, comfort, or value, why keep paying for it? Think about something as simple as name brand household items. Many people buy name brand everything because it's what they've always done, assuming it must be better than the generic version, but in most cases it's the exact same product with a fancier label and a higher price tag. Store brand groceries, cleaning supplies, and even medications often have the same ingredients and quality as the expensive version. The only real difference is the amount of money you're handing over at the checkout counter. When you switch to store brands, the savings might seem small at first, but over time they add up to hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars back in your pocket. Another expense that tends to creep up after 60 is impulse buying, especially online. With just a few clicks, something new is on its way to your doorstep, and before you know it, you're surrounded by things you don't really need. Online shopping makes spending money almost too easy. There's no checkout line, no moment to pause and ask yourself, do I really need this? If you find yourself scrolling and buying out of boredom or habit, try putting items in your cart and waiting at least 24 hours before making a purchase. Chances are when you come back, you'll realize you don't need it after all. And then there are those big purchases, the ones that seem practical in the moment but end up being more trouble than they're worth. Fancy new furniture, the latest kitchen gadgets, high-tech appliances with features you'll never use. These things promise to make life better, but do they really? A comfortable chair is important, but do you need a recliner with built-in Bluetooth and a cup warmer? A good set of pots and pans is essential, but will that specialty pasta maker really get used more than once? The reality is most of these purchases end up collecting dust, while the money that could have been spent on experiences or true necessities disappears.